Ampun, Your Majesties, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. In honor of the contributions as well as untiring efforts to the development of the Royal Kingdom of Sulu Darussalam by the virtue and command of His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram, Ibn al-Marhum Sultan Muhammad Abdullah Kiram, His Majesty will now award the honors to the following recipient. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now a great privilege to invite Dato' Tuan Asma'ul Omar to have an audience to His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram for the conferment of orders. Dato' Paduka Raja Sulu, which carries the title Dato' Paduka Raja, and the spouse will carry the title Datin Paduka Raja. Yang Amat Bahagia Tun San Ani, the Royal Grand Chamberlain, will now accompany the recipient. Your Majesties, ladies and gentlemen, it is now a great privilege to invite Dato' Sri Iwante, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director to Visionex to have an audience to His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram for the conferment of orders. Darjah Kerabat Bergelar Orang Kaya di Hilir DK1, which carries the title Bihin Sri, and the spouse will carry the title Tuan Sri. Yang Amat Bahagia Tun San Ani, the Royal Grand Chamberlain, will now accompany the recipient. Your Majesties, ladies and gentlemen, it is now a great honor to invite Yang Bahagia Dato' Sri Muhammad Farid Ibrahim, Economic and Foreign Nation Advisor to His Majesty Sultan, to have an audience to His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram for the conferment of orders. Darjah Kerabat Bergelar Orang Kaya di Hilir DK1, which carries the title Bihin Sri, and his spouse will carry the title Tuan Sri. Yang Amat Bahagia Tun San Ani, the Royal Grand Chamberlain, will now accompany the recipient. Thank you, Your Majesty, and congratulations to Yang Bahagia Bihin Sri. Your Majesties, ladies and gentlemen, it is now a great honor to invite Yang Bahagia Dato' Sri Haji Nadir bin Haji Yusuf Al Kubra, Vice President of Royal Sulu Islamic Chamber of Commerce and Secretary of Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram Foundation, to have an audience with His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram for the conference of orders. Subject Rabat Pegawai Orang KITV.PHILIPPINES, which carries the title Sri, and the spouse will carry the title Sri. Yang amat berbahagia Tun Sarani, the Royal Grand Chamberlain, will now accompany the recipient. Thank you, Your Majesty, and congratulations to Yang Berbahagia Prince. Your Majesties, ladies and gentlemen, it is now a great honor to invite the Honorable Mr. Mrs. Ayebus, Under Secretary of the Department of Foreign Affairs, Republic of Philippines, to have an audience with His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram for the conferment of orders Dr. Sri Ingram Hakuta Sulu DSIM, which carries the title Dato Sri, and the spouse will carry the title Dato Sri. Yang amat berbahagia Tun Sarani, the Royal Grand Chamberlain, will now accompany the recipient. Very much, Your Majesty, and congratulations to Royal Dato Sri, the Honorable Dato Sri. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now a great honor to invite Mr. Eric Wong Yi Pai, Chief Financial Officer to Metro Mas Ventures, Shiangrila, to have an audience to His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram for the conferment of orders Dr. Sri Ingram Hakuta DSIM, which carries the title Dato Sri, and the spouse will carry the title Dato Sri. Yang berbahagia Tun Sarani, the Royal Grand Chamberlain, will now accompany the recipient. Sound check. Assalamualaikum and very good evening, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Royal Sulu Gala dinner 2017. Those who still are outside, I invite everyone to kindly take your seat as we'll be commencing the dinner in a while. And also we require your kind cooperation to kindly set off your mobile phones to silent mode, and your cooperation is deeply appreciated. And we also kindly require to stand upon the arrival of our royal and honored guest procession. And also I've been reminded several times by the organizing committee for not allowing our walk-in friends or companions to take selfie with their majesties pre and after the occasion. We are now waiting the arrival and procession of their majesties. Occupation. Sound check, sound check. Sound check, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Malaysian pala yung isang sultan. Tatlo yung sultan dun eh. Kasama. Yung matanda. Yung isang taga roon na may link sa Sulu, namatay na eh. Kaya ito hindi ko wala lang yung
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Announcing the arrival of Royal Procession, His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Al-Islam Kiram Ibn Al-Marhum Sultan Muhammad Mahakut Abdullah Kiram, the 30th legitimate Sultan and sovereign ruler of the state and territory of Sulu Darussalam, and Her Majesty Sultanah Pengiang Dayang Nur Hijrah Rabiatul Adawiyah Kiram.
galing yan. Gadget mo ah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please once again to welcome the arrival of Royal Procession, His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Al-Islam Kiram Ibn Al-Marhum Sultan Muhammad Mahakut Abdullah Kiram, the 30th legitimate Sultan and sovereign ruler of the state and territory of Sulu. Apuntanku, Your Majesties, His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Al-Islam Kiram Ibn Al-Marhum Sultan Muhammad Mahakut Abdullah Kiram, the 30th legitimate Sultan and sovereign ruler of the state and territory of Sulu Darussalam, Her Majesty Sultanah Pengiang Dayang Nur Hijrah Rabiatul Adawiyah Kiram, on behalf of the organizing committee, Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram Foundation Incorporated, with the team building One Sulu One Nation, which is being held at Ballroom Shangrila, Makati, the Republic of Philippines. We would humbly like to seek Your Majesty's homage for me to resume this special event. Verily, the appearance of Your Majesties to this event is a great appreciation to each and every one of us present tonight. Amputaku. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to once again welcome everyone to this special event, Royal Sulu Gala Dinner 2017, which is being held at Ballroom Shangrila Hotel, Makati, Manila, with the theme Peace, Prosper, Global. For our information, this is special gala dinner is proudly as well as successfully organized by the Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram Foundation Incorporated. Your Majesties, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to begin our special event tonight, to join us for the prayer recital and a moment of silence. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Allahumma ya Allah, guide us along with those who have been guided, and grant us complete peace and safety along with those who have been granted complete peace and safety, and patronize us along with those who have been patronized, and bless us in all what Thou wilt grant us, and save us from the injurious effect of what Thou hast ordained, and Thou alone dispose, and no one can dispose against Thee. One who is under Thy protection cannot be harmed, and one who has chosen enmity with Thee cannot gain dignity. Allahumma ya Allah, Thou art full of blessings and most high. We beg forgiveness for Thee and repent before Thee, and may the choicest blessings be upon our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات وأصلح ذات بينهم وألف بين قلوبهم وانصرهم على عدوك وعدوهم واهدهم سبل السلام وأخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور وجنبنا الفواحش ما ظهر منها وما بطن واجعلهم شاكرين لنعمك مثنين بها عليك قابلين لها وأسمم عليهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم يا ذا الجود والكرم. We humbly request and pray unto you for this smooth running of our special event, Royal Sulu Gala Dinner 2017, attended by His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram, Ibn Al-Marhum Sultan Muhammad Mahakota Abdullah Kiram, the Sultan and Sovereign Ruler of Sulu Darussalam, and Her Majesty Sultan of Priyam Dayanul Hijrah Rabi'atul Adawiyah Kiram. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل اللهم فينا ولا معنا ولا ما يتبعنا شقيا ولا مطرودا ولا محروما. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. قبل الله منكم. Apotonku, Your Majesties, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is on the transformation of Darul Jambana. Pleasant viewing. The Sulu Sultanate have existed in the Malay Archipelago since the early 13th century. Historically, the kingdom covered the island of Mindanao, Pacific and the peninsula. Today, the Sultan of Sulu is still in reign with the kingdom covering the islands of Palawan, Basilan and Tawi-Tawi, located in northern and southern of Mindanao. Inspired by a visionary leader, His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram, Ibn al-Marhum Sultan Muhammad Mahakota Kiram, supported by a strong, trusted government official, the Sulu government is still regaining its function as a commercial hub in today's modern archipelago. With the population of 4 million, Sulu has a lot to offer, such as job opportunities in the sectors of infrastructural development, agricultural, fisheries industry, communication, and oil and gas being the primary source that has never been fully explored. Sulu is also offering investment opportunities in the tourism sector, involving the Tausuks from the Malay ethnic, rich with traditional cultures of high values. Hull, the capital of Sulu, is experiencing a big transformation in line with its status as a sovereign independent nation. The administrative centers in Mindro, Darul Jambana will be redeveloped based on Islamic elements and tradition. These centers symbolize the pillar of the Sulu Sultanate since its existence. The administrative centers is to be redeveloped on the original location of the palace which has been destroyed by a typhoon in 1932. The developments on 1,000 hectares of land will consist of the National Palace, the administrative centers, national malls, housing for the royalties, hospital, university, sport complex, airports, ports, and consulates. The project requires a big investment estimated approximately around 20 million. The rebuilding of the administrative centers on the original location of the palace, sending a strong message to the world. That is the manifestation of a highly spirited nation, a combined efforts between the Sultanate of Sulu and its people standing up again, despite the dark pages of history. In order to drive progress and attaining considerable success, Sulu will be unable to stand up on its own without financial contribution of ideas from its associates. Today, Sulu requires more associates to work in a team in order to realize the dream of becoming sovereign independent nation as it is moved further into a more challenging future.
Keseluruhan proyek pembangunan Sulu ini yang mengumpulkan jumlah pelabuhan yang besar sebanyak 20 triliun. Pembinaan 10 pusat pentadbiran negara, 3 pusat alam astana, 6 memperlihatkan satu investasi kepada dunia bahawa keselamatan Sulu serta rakyatnya memiliki keazaman yang tinggi dan kembang dan tidak berserta akan mengalah oleh godaan yang meninggi. Untuk memacu pembangunan dan meraih kejayaan yang terusan, Sulu tidak akan mampu berdiri sendirian tanpa sokongan dan bantuan baik dari segi ekonomi maupun teknik dari sahabat-sahabat yang paling jauh. Hari ini, hubungan antara kita mendapat sahabat yang dapat bersama-sama merealisasikan kesultanan Sulu yang merdeka dan mendorong ekonomi dasar bangsa yang lebih mencapai.
What is the point of us demanding assistance for another nation that has already prospered, people living peacefully? Why not think of Sulu state which is lagging behind with dialect of infrastructures such as prosper water supply and roads? Sabah is already a well-advanced nation and it belongs to Malaysia, no question about it, despite the government of Malaysia is still paying tribute session money of 1,000 to the government of Sulu. Session money is equivalent to 72,000 pesos per annum paid to our religious leaders.
Saya tahu dibayar kepada tokoh kita di Solo yaitu ulama muda.
I would like to state that the attack on Sabah by terrorists of southern Philippines, where I have stated this 3 years ago that Sabah belongs to Malaysia according to Kabul Commission in 1963, where the Sabahans themselves wished to be independent from Malaysia.
Rakyat Sabah sendiri yang inginkan kemerdekaan Malaysia. Di sini seharusnya kami
we from the Sultan of Sulu wish to express our highest gratitude to the government of Malaysia who managed to protect the Sabahans twice. Assuming in 1963 Sabah is not independent, there is a big possibility that they would have been colonized by 2 other countries, Philippines and or Indonesia.
Sabah itu akan dimasukkan ke Filipina. Sebabnya Kesultanan Sulu walaupun tidak menyerahkan.
The chances are Sabah might have been placed under the Philippines government. It is because the Sulu Sultan, despite not releasing its power to the Philippines, it is still being colonized by them, thus making Sabah as part of the Philippines. I would like to reiterate my thanks to the Malaysian government for taking care of Sabah, where the people are free to hold to any faith and working to earn a living in full harmony.
Dan 2 kali ucapan terima kasih kepada Kerajaan Malaysia. Pertama tadi menjaga Sabah daripada dijajah oleh negara-negara jiran. Yang kedua ucapan terima kasih kita ialah serangan pengganas.
So that's twice my thanks to Malaysia, one for protecting Sabah from being colonized by the neighboring countries, and secondly for protecting Sabah from recent terrorist attacks. As we all know, the Sulu Sultanate is never being involved in these terrorist attacks. We are the protectors and we love our peoples. There is never a Sulu Sultan resorting to kill its own brother, as we are religious Muslim who observe the significance of loving one another. Regarding the attacks by the terrorists of southern Philippines, Abu Sayyaf, or those who claim that they are the true heirs of the Sultanate, I am the Crown Prince of Sultan Kiram that was accredited in 1974 by virtue of Buckingham Palace Executive Royal Order number 724.
Yang positif menangani masalah dan daripada pengganas daripada selatan Filipina ini Abu Sayyaf ataupun daripada orang Abu Sultan, tetapi mereka adalah anak dan putra mahkota Sultan Mahkota Kiram yang betul-betul diiktiraf pada tahun 1974 dan mempunyai executive order nombor di Buckingham Palace 724.
So I am the legal continuing hero of the Sultan of Sulu. I have no comments on another sultan, but there can be only one sultan, and that's me, the Crown Prince, who is fighting for the independence of Sulu. Ladies and gentlemen, please extend a big round of applause to His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail. No life, Your Majesty. Thank you very much for watching the transformation of Darul Jambangan. Once again, thank you. Your Majesties, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I now to invite Yang Berbahagia Pehin Sri Muhammad Farid Ibrahim, Economic and Foreign Mission Advisor to His Majesty Sultan, to deliver his welcoming remarks. Yang Berbahagia Pehin Sri.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace upon you and a very good evening to all. Ampun Tuanku, His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Al-Islam Kiram and Her Majesty Sultanah Dayang Nur Hijrah Kiram. Ampun Tuanku. Honorable Datuk Sri Jesus Yabes and Datin Sri Yabes, who has just been conferred the Darjah Sri Indra Mahkota Sulu, which carries the title of Datuk Sri. Congratulations. Tun Saan Ali, the President of the Royal Sulu Datukship Council, Pehin Sri Ivan Tay, the Managing Director of CEO and also Fissionex International, other distinguished guests, members of the press and media, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure tonight to welcome our distinguished guests from the Philippines, Malaysia, India, United Emirates, and China. Welcome to Makati, Shangrila, Manila. Tonight, we're also very happy to have the Honorable Datuk Sri Zulkarnain Taib, the President and the CEO of the Great Media Foundation under the Office of the Prime Minister of Malaysia, and also the Honorable Datuk Sri Abu Hassan Muhammad Noor, the President of the Small Entrepreneur Chamber of Commerce of Malaysia, for coming to here in Manila. The Royal Sulu Gala dinner tonight in Shangrila, Makati, Manila holds a very special meaning and significance, especially to the Royal Kingdom of Sulu. For this auspicious night, we pay the highest respect and honor to one and only the very eminent person who, with our undivided loyalty and love, that is His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Al-Islam Kiram, who is the 30th legitimate Sultan of Sulu. Ampun Tuanku. We also like to extend our greatest and most sincere gratitude of the hosting country, His Excellency President Rodrigo Duterte, who is the 16th President of Philippines, and the Philippines government for all the support and assistance rendered that brought the fruition of peace and harmony among the peoples of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity in this very auspicious and blessed occasion to extend my deepest and most profound gratitude and appreciation on His Majesty Sultan and also His Majesty Grace to confer upon my humble self of the award of Darjah Kerabat Orang Kaya Dihili, which carry the title of Pehin Sri and also my appointment as the Economic and Foreign Missions Advisor to His Majesty Sultan. Both the conferment and my appointment for the Royal Kingdom of Sulu means a great deal to me personally. Menjunjung kasih Tuanku, these honors that I humbly accept only mean one thing, that is the great responsibility that come with it. This a very, very heavy responsibility. It's not only to safeguard the good and honorable name of His Majesty and the Royal Kingdom of Sulu, but it's also the immense task to ensure the continuous success of the various responsibilities that lie ahead, especially for the people of the Philippines. Certainly, one of my main and first focus would be to promote to the world that the good and honorable name of His Majesty and the Royal Kingdom of Sulu, that he represent, and also to establish good working with the central government of Philippines under the able leadership of His Excellency President Rodrigo Duterte, and we always support peace to the country. Establishing healthy and mutual beneficial ties with neighboring countries also, especially the ASEAN nations, in the context of the Royal Kingdom of Sulu, as an integral part of it, would also be priority in our international agenda. Of course, the Royal Sulu Kingdom and also the government of Philippines. Continuous and relentless efforts toward establishing peace and stability in this region is also the utmost in the mind and the struggle of His Majesty, Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram, and we also will be side by side with His Majesty in this noble struggle. In closing, I would like to thank to all our distinguished and honorable guests for being here in the Shangrila, Makati, in Manila, for being here maybe from to this very memorable night. His Excellency, His Majesty, I would like to thanks to everyone again, because today we have a very, very important night for His Majesty and the rest of the people. That to again to support peace nationwide. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you very much, Yang Berbahagia Ben Sri Muhammad Farid Ibrahim, Economic and Foreign Mission Advisor to His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram. And I've been ordered and instructed by His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram to share a bit of His Majesty's greatest hope of being in the Republic of Philippines once again, after the Majesty had been living in Malaysia for over times. But this time around, His Majesty has a very great hope of developing the Sulu and its territories with the Excellency President Roberto Duterte, the President of the Republic of Philippines. May I now to extend we all the great applause to His Majesty. And Your Majesty, and to all Malaysian who came 1,000 miles for the sake of the Royal Sulu Gala dinner. This is out of my script at the moment. We are waiting for the next. And when we mentioned about the Sulu Sultanate, is quite cliche of being comfort Datuk Sri from Sulu. At the moment, those Malaysians are very keen and very eager to search for His Majesty, homage and blessings in order to get the Datuk. Because of what? Because at the moment, His Majesty Sultan of Sulu is recognized throughout the world. At the moment, the world will open the eyes. And we ourselves, Filipinos here and Malaysian out there, and to all members of the media, please alert to the eye of the world that His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram Ibni Almarhum Sultan Muhammad Mahkota Kiram is now one of the head of the government. Once again, good applause. I think for more details, I'll be producing a very long video of His Majesty. Am I right, Your Majesty? Okay, for the next speech, I would like to call upon Yang Berbahagia Pen Sri Ivan J, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of FusionX International, to deliver his speech. Please read.
Your Majesty, Her Majesty, Royal Highness, the Sultan of Sulu, Your Excellencies, VIPs, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening, everyone. My name is Jacob, and I represent FusionX today. I am very honored to stand before you today to share with you a bit about fintech, blockchain, and emerging trends and technologies. But before that, I thought I would also give you a very quick overview about FusionX and what we do, what is our focus. So traditionally, as you can see, we have won numerous awards in the space of data intelligence, artificial intelligence, data analytics, and also different types of fintech technologies as well. You can see we have won the #1 champion for Microsoft across 150 different countries, Big Data Award in Hong Kong, Asia Pacific ICTA Award in emerging trends and technologies, a social award in Taiwan, SITF award in Singapore. We have been the #1 champion for Microsoft and IBM for many, many years in Malaysia and in Singapore. Strongest Cloudera partner in this region. We are also listed on the London Stock Exchange because traditionally we started off by gaining a lot of traction from UK and European customers before we moved back to Asia Pacific, because it's very exciting here today. Picom Leadership Award, ISO 9001 and CMMI certified as well, focusing on our qualities, certifications, etc. But more importantly, we have also been certified ISO 27001 on data security, data privacy, data management. So just to give you a bit of a flavor in terms of some of our clients, and we have been very, very privileged to work with the global Fortune 500 clients, blue chip clienteles, whether they are from the FSI, financial services, whether they are from manufacturing, logistics, public sector, large conglomerates, property management, property development, whether it's gaming, integrated resorts, hotels, public sector, retail, whether it's the luxury brands like Chanel, banks like Citibank, airlines like AirAsia, large conglomerates like GroupM, TNS, etc. So the reason why we have been very lucky to work with these clients is because they have found that they have a lot of data and they realize that they sit on a gold mine. So what we did was to help them find insights and intelligence and group those together to amalgamate and find better decisions. So the current landscape of data and technology is very challenging. Everything is being digitalized as we speak, whether it's voice, whether it's records, whether it's videos, images, everything is being digitalized. So I thought I would also share with you a video in terms of how we view the landscape as how FusionX views the current landscape today.
Data is always growing. As it grows, it helps others grow too. It builds connections. It controls the flow of movement. The world generates data every minute, every second, faster and faster each day. As data gets more and more complex, that's where we come in. Fusionix specializes in data analytics. We get data to work for you. Optimize machine operations. Optimize shipments and freight movement. Discover purchasing trends. Track every aspect of your business. Manage your divisions with security and stability. Find insights on route popularity. Raise the bar for customer satisfaction. Service your customers with a smile. Provide the best service for your patients. Improve the way cities are run. Regardless of the location, in every corner of the world. The question of what if is no longer necessary. We help you manage and understand your data so you can transform your business for the better. We transform what if to what's next. Fusionix. Experience excellence.
Thank you. So what are the opportunities that we see today? We know that we have a lot of data, and just to give you a glimpse, in 60 seconds alone, look at the amount of generated data across the globe, whether it's blogs, whether it's forums, whether it's chat groups, whether it's emails, videos, images, etc. There's a ton of this being generated, and data is generated at an exponential rate as well, doubling all the time. So I think it's changing how we live, how we play, and how we work. So that's a lot of data that we can use and leverage to help us in our decision making and also digital platforms. If that's not good enough, let's have a look at some further stats over here. The report co-authored by Google says that Southeast Asia's digital economy will grow to be worth 200 billion by the year 2025. 200 billion. And Southeast Asia, so we are right smack at the most exciting ground, whether it's Asia Pacific, Southeast Asia. The total population, as you can see, is 625 million, the third largest globally. 300 million smartphones in ASEAN, 50% of them are data users who use data all the time. And if that is not good enough, we have about 3.5 million new users coming online every month. That is some staggering facts. 36% of the population is under 20, the millennials, the Gen Y, the Gen Z. Adding to that, just having a look at the Philippines alone is a very exciting market because we have more than 100 million in terms of total population. So just to give you a bit of an idea in terms of some of the applications that we have done for large conglomerates, government agencies, public sector as well, focusing on smart cities, smart buildings. The example, as you can see over here, is smart buildings, looking at room temperature, looking at humidity, energy consumption optimization. There's a ton of different things that we can do with data and technology. Next example, as you can see over here, we thought a picture would speak 1,000 words. So this is for smart cities. We have done for smart nations, looking at car park vacancies, traffic light monitoring, air pollution index, energy consumption, even earthquake monitoring as well. There's a lot that you can do to help better decision-making processes. But it doesn't just stop there. There are more than that. There are a lot of applications like smarter healthcare, better education, upgrading of financial services, log analysis, telcos, traffic control, trading analytics, smart manufacturing, industrialization 4.0, retail, etc. And the list just goes on. So talking about fintech, it's a very, very hot topic today. And a lot of people ask us, how is fintech relevant to the industry? How is it relevant to their lifestyle? So let's first start with the origins of fintech. Very simply, how does the word come? So it's quite simply coined finance and technology, as we know. So when you look at these two, when it's combined together, it forms the word fintech. And simply, it's actually quite straightforward. It's how we use technology to make financial services and processes, transactions more effective, more efficient, and more trustworthy. So that's really in a nutshell what fintech is all about. And how do we do this? having a look on the left-hand side, it's all about using good ICT and cutting-edge ICT technologies to create better experiences for people to perform financial transactions. I'll share with you a bit of a personal experience. I've been traveling a lot across the globe, different continents, European regions for the past 15, 20 years. In my first 2 years of travel, just within 2 years, I had 2 bags of coins filled up of different currencies because I brought in a lot of cash, I did a lot of foreign exchanges, etc. So what I learned from then is that maybe I'll just use my credit card. And I quickly found out that with my credit card, I could travel to Europe and the US and do everything, perform almost every transaction from taxis to hotels, to retail, to restaurants, just using my credit card. So today I travel around the globe. Most of the time, I don't perform any currency exchange, I just use my credit card. And even better, today, when I move to Europe, when I travel to China, I just use my mobile phone and I can transact almost everything on my mobile phone. So I no longer need my credit card as well. Now that is fintech in its fullest because you can perform any transaction, whether it's stock market, whether it's restaurants, wine and dine, hotels, retail transactions, etc. So the need for cash, for hard cash in your hands is really lessening. And with that, government support and regulatory barrier reduction is even moving faster and disrupting the market. Adding to that, we also know that Gen Y is the very exciting species that we are looking forward to. In terms of spend patterns, spend appetite, they have the largest. Now, they might not be the richest, but they are the ones who are most willing to spend because they are trying to enjoy life. The baby boomers, the ones who are very, very senior and successful, they have bought all their Ferraris and Lamborghinis. So there's not much else for them to spend. But the Gen Y are the ones who are the biggest population in terms of spend segmentation. And they are high touch, high tech. So technology is something that really appeals to them. Adding to that, let's have a look at the survey in terms of value of fintech and why people actually use fintech. 43.4%, close to 50% of people use fintech. Really because it's easy to set up. All you need is an email, some ID, simple verification, and you're good to go. You have better experience, it's more attractive in terms of rates and fees because it's more seamless. You have access to better information and products and services because you don't need hard copy brochures. You've got everything in your mobile phone. And because you're always online, there's a greater level of trust as well. So everything can be performed, moving from offline to online, online to mobile. So what really is the addressable market now that we know that technology is very compelling in the fintech space? What really is the addressable market that we are really looking at? If we just look at Philippines alone, so we have about 26% of Filipinos who have access to formal financial channels. That's very underserved. Many of them still don't have access to ATMs, to bank branches, etc. And that's not just in Philippines, that's also in Malaysia, that's also in Thailand, in Indonesia, many parts of Asia Pacific, even China as well. And many of these areas, as you can see, 610 out of 1,600 of these areas do not have banks. That's some really staggering stats. Adding to that, you can see that we have about 10 million overseas Filipinos who work abroad, and they do remittances every day, every hour, every second, every minute. Now, if we look at that, and we look at the population that is on smartphones, mobile phones, that's 60%. That's, again, some very, very compelling rates. And that's about 1.5 billion text messages a day. So really, if you're talking about qualification, it's there. The mobile users are present today in the ecosystem that we speak about. So, how do we do that? If we know that digital banking and fintech is really important, so we can actually reimagine how banking can work. And that's actually quite simple. If you look at all these different types of services, whether it's payment services, virtual assistants, customer profile, customer services, loyalty, concierge, self-service product customization, chatbots, robots, credit risk, big data, risk, pricing, wealth management, private banking, all of these can actually be done today on your mobile phone. And it's all powered with big data analytics, artificial intelligence, cognitive computing, and also mobile. So how does it really tie to mobility? This is actually one of my last statistics around, as you can see over here. If you're thinking about who is really using the mobile phone to transact, the growth is quite convincing, because we have actually grown from 2013 to 2017 by almost double to 1 billion users. And if you look at the developed world, who are young and tech-savvy, compared to the developing world, who have little disposable income, but they own mobile devices, both of them actually want to use the mobile wallet. So like it or not, mobile wallet, digital transactions is here to stay, and it will disrupt the world. It's just a matter of time, and who does it first. So my last topic is really about blockchain, and a lot of people ask me, what is actually blockchain? Is it a block, or is it a chain? Well, the answer is both. It's actually combining different blocks of transactions and chaining them up together using cryptography, as you can see, and distributed computing to deliver a very secure channel to perform transactions, which is very, very highly secure. So it consists of 4 main components, which is digital ledger, consensus mechanism, digital assets, and network participants. But I know it's actually quite hard to illustrate in a very short time frame about blockchain. So I thought what is best is probably to run through a video to illustrate a little bit about blockchain.
Modern technology allows people to communicate directly. Voice and video calls, emails, pictures and instant messages travel directly from A to B, maintaining trust between individuals no matter how far apart they are. When it comes to money, people have to trust a third party to be able to complete a transaction. Blockchain technology is challenging the status quo in a radical way. By using math and cryptography, blockchain provides an open, decentralized database of any transaction involving value, money, goods, property, work, or even votes, creating a record whose authenticity can be verified by the entire community. The future global economy will move towards one of distributed property and trust, where anyone with access to the internet can get involved in blockchain-based transactions, and third-party trust organizations may no longer be necessary. The uses of blockchain technology are endless. Some expect that in less than 10 years it will be used to collect taxes. It will make it easier for immigrants to send money back to countries where access to financial institutions is limited. Financial fraud will be significantly reduced, as every transaction will be recorded on a public and distributed ledger, which will be accessible by anyone who has an internet connection. Think of it as wills and contracts that execute themselves, or dated proof of existence for ideas, much like a patent. Blockchain will become a global, decentralized source of trust, but not everyone is ready to embrace it. A huge proportion of trust services, from banking to notaries, will face challenges on price, volume, and in some cases, their very survival. Public authorities could find it more and more difficult to enforce traditional financial regulations due to the new possibilities offered by the Bitcoin network to bypass traditional financial intermediaries. Unimagined new networks will evolve to meet society's needs more cheaply and potentially more securely. Will governments, financial and legal institutions embrace blockchain? What will happen to the ones who don't?
It's a good question. So what will happen? It's always about whether it's a threat or an opportunity. It's two sides of the coin. Some of the other common applications that we see that are using blockchain today is financial services, insurance, healthcare, government, property management. And the reason why these are very, very good industries to use blockchain is because they have a lot of processes, they have a lot of transactions, etc. As you can see over there is e-commerce, global payments, crowdfunding, etc. So anything that has a lot of processes, contracts, transactions is very suitable for blockchain technologies. Other potential applications, which is covered in public sector, as you can see over here, you have record management, online voting, which provides very high level of transparency for identity management, digital taxation, legislation, etc. So whether it's in the government sector or in the public sector, private sector, there's a lot of very valuable use cases. So in a nutshell, what do you think? Is technology a threat or is it an opportunity? And we know, as in the world of Matrix, if you have seen this before with Keanu Reeves a long time ago, the world as we know is being digitalized as you speak in every area. Every image, every video, any chat, whether it's audio, voice, emails, etc., are being digitalized. We believe that technology will disrupt the world and will change the way we play, work, and live. And we want to be right in the middle to help society, to help our customers, our partners, grow and benefit from the best of its technologies. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the great and very informative presentation. Then, as we are waiting for the setting up of the onstage for MOU ceremony, I would like to call the hotel group to set up on stage downstairs. Your Majesties, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the organizing committee, Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram Foundation, we would also like to warmly welcome the Honorable Congressman Florante Boy Aquino, San Pablo City, province of Laguna. Because as far as I'm concerned, there will be over 20 persons to be selected in the beginning. But as far as I'm now concerned, I didn't receive any list of facilitation. But this time around, I think station are now ready. There's a slight change of our program. I think you have been, every one of us, not you have been, every one of us is waiting for the very great time to dine tonight. So, as the pilot of the event, I request hotel crew to serve dinner now. Your Majesties, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dinner will be served now. Enjoy your meals and bon appetit. JV Aquatech Group of Companies will be represented by its Group Chief Executive Officer, Yang berbahagia Datuk Bijitan. The company will provide technology and also operation management. And now, it is my honor to invite all representatives to sign the Memorandum of Understanding, will be witnessed by His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram. Dipersilakan untuk menurunkan tanda tangan. It is now once again to invite Yang berbahagia Tun Sanani, the President of Royal Sulu Islamic Chamber of Commerce, and Yang berbahagia Mr. Alan Low Chin Choi, Managing Director of Golden Fortune Fish Shenzhen Incorporated, to exchange the Memorandum of Understanding. Silakan untuk tukaran tangan. Exchange of Memorandum of Understanding. Okay, thank you very much. The next Memorandum of Understanding, it is my honor to proceed for the second of Memorandum of Understanding. We would like to call upon Yang berbahagia Sri Ivan T, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of FishNex Import and Export, and Mr. Sham. Mr. Sham S. Shangrila, Director of Marketing, Amron Foods Private Limited, to proceed on stage for the signing ceremony. The Majesties, ladies and gentlemen, for your information, the Royal Sulu Islamic Chamber of Commerce will play its part in assisting as well as facilitating all related of import and export licenses, trading in foods, such as agricultural product, foods and beverage, and for import and export basis, while the FishNex Amron Foods Private Limited played its role in promoting agro product from the Sulu region, the Philippines, represented by FishNex import and export to various markets. And I would like to call upon Yang berbahagia Tun Sanani, the President of Sulu Islamic Chamber of Commerce, Yang berbahagia Sri Ivan T, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of FishNex and Import and Export, to exchange to sign the Memorandum of Understanding. Silakan untuk Yang berbahagia Tun dan Sri Ivan untuk berkata tangan. Your Majesties, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Yang Amat Berbahagia Tun Sanani, the President of Royal Sulu Islam Chamber of Commerce, and Yang Berbahagia Prince Jayabante, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of FishNex Import and Export, to exchange the Memorandum of Understanding. Dipersilakan Yang Amat Berbahagia Tun Sanani dan Prince Jayabante untuk bertukar dokumen. Yang Bagetun and Prince Lee, the first. Silakan untuk pertukaran dokumen. Second, I would like to invite Yang Bagetun Sarani and Mr. Sham Shangrila to exchange the document of Memorandum of Understanding. Thank you very much, Yang Bagetun and Mr. Sham and Yang Berbahagia Prince Lee. Thanks to all representatives. We would like to extend our special appreciation to His Majesty Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram for witnessing the two signing of Memorandum of Understanding. Menunjuk kasih Tuanku.
Bangga. Kita bangga lah.
With the two signing of Memorandum of Understanding just now, we have come to the final stage of our special Royal Sulu Gala Dinner 2017. On behalf of the organizing committee, Sultan Mudarasulail Kiram Foundation Incorporated, we would like to once again thank Their Majesties for spending their ample as well as special moment to be with us tonight. Menunjuk kasih Tuanku. Not forgetting to each and everyone who have been very committed in organizing such a great occasion tonight. May the Almighty Allah reward us with the best in all our undertakings. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just finished our important session, Memorandum of Understanding, and I, on behalf of the organizing committee, will let you to proceed to enjoy your meals and your foods. Your Majesty, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We have ample time at the moment to enjoy very fascinating and beautiful traditional dancing. Pleasant viewing. Your Majesties, ladies and gentlemen, we now will be watching the special traditional performance of dancing. May I have the honor to invite them on stage and performing the traditional dances. Please welcome.
Ayos po, isi-serve pa lang po natin.